Hey everyone, this is Krishna Chaitanya. I am a student of CSE branch, BTech third year, NITSIKKIM, third year completed. So, being a student of CSE branch, I am aware of all the requirements of a company in general, basically about the areas which they are concerned about. But I have to say that I got to know about these details at a very later stage, to be honest, after joining the training and placement cell of our institute. So, yeah, but what if the future students get the chance of knowing these at a very early stage, and that too from such a person who has a very impressive track record? So, today we have with us Sir Pokala Anirudh to address several points about placements and many other things. He was one of the SRFP fellowship recipients in 2019, topper of CSE 2017 to 2021 batch, and a placement coordinator at the Training and Placement Cell NIT Sikkim. Currently, he is working as an associate software engineer at Platform9 Systems. Anna, we are really glad to have you here today.
I
Yeah.
it,
So, uh, yeah, how is everything going, Anna? Anta, like, sorry, how is everything going over there?
yeah, everything is going pretty well.
So, congratulations on your job, Anna. That was
Yeah,
really, yeah. So, without making further delay, let's begin with our question round. Right,
sure.
Anna? Yeah, okay. So, the first question, and it is a very important question to everybody who's studying engineering. What is the importance of an internship? Does it affect our placements? If so, how much would it affect?
Okay. So to be specific, internships are one of the most crucial part in any of if for any of the other branches. Like it could be computer science or any other branches.
Mhm.
Especially coming to the CSE students, internship plays a crucial role. Like internship is a place where you're gonna apply the things that you learn in your till your entire BTech career. Like it might be till the second year or the third year. And if you are availing your internship in the third year or fourth year, then that changes. So that is very much important where you're gonna be introduced into a corporate life and you're gonna work with many of the technology persons and technical persons in a higher level. So that will boost your even technical skills, and also you would be learning many of these skills. Apart from technical skills, you're also gonna learn like things like how they're gonna manage things parallelly. So even that is also cool stuff that you're gonna learn. So I do say that internships plays a crucial role in one's placement, and it is not mandatory also. Just that helps you to bring out of your talent and where you would be applying that. So that plays a crucial role in placements.
Right, that was very informative actually. Though there are students who don't do internship till the ending, but it is really advised. According to what you said just now, it seems very important for a placement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next question would be: we have not to say to you, Bhaiya, but we have many big companies outside, just like Goldman Sachs, Intel, etc. So if someone is preparing for PPOs, pre-placement offers in companies like Goldman Sachs, Intel, and others, what should his or her approach be? What steps should he take, or he
Okay.
or she should take?
Okay, so coming to the point is that generally big companies, big names like Google or Microsoft or Goldman Sachs or Intel, they do provide internships, summer internships. They doesn't provide directly a pre-placement offer as far as I know. They
Hmm.
do provide internships and they observe the student in multiple views. So they observe how he gonna handle the task or how he gonna apply his the skills that he learned to the particular project and how is the team and this all. So that depends. And for a pre-placement offer is a thing where the student is giving a tenure, like whether it might be 2 months or 6 months or 12 months. He would be a part of that team completely and involved in some projects of that particular company where he would be working on. And based on his performance, he could be converted to full-time or the fresh graduate, fresh employee, or else he could be directly given an offer, full-time offer, and then he would be trained for their entire internship tenure.
Hmm.
So for that, it could be like the skills what that company exactly needs. So that could be specific to particular person. So if to take specific in my case, so I was being intern with Platform9. So
Right.
where I had been introduced to many of the cloud technologies and so on. So that depends on the company where you are working and what you are dreaming to go with.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a machine learning, you want to become a machine learning engineer and you want to have a PPO in that particular domain, then you should have skills related to that particular skill set mostly, like machine learning, data, neural networks, and those all the other tools. Whether if you are a like we could say web designer, then there are some different skill sets. So concentrate according to the skill set. But if you go with the product companies, especially they would be looking for data structures and algorithms and those all. So where you should have a strong grip on DSA, that is most important. So be specific to that skill sets and apply for that and prepare accordingly. And
Right.
projects, even projects are one of the crucial things I think that to be involved in your resumes or CVs when
Mhm.
you're applying for these PPOs. Why? Because if there is a particular role that you're applying for a particular company, then they does even see that what experience does you have. Since PPOs are being given to the undergraduates or MTech students, in that case, then you should have a if you have a decent project in that skill, then you would be the first pick for them.
I am wondering, I did not work on any single project till now. So what would be my situation?
Okay, see, if you haven't worked also, then that is okay. If why? Because there would be even selection rounds and those all. But if you could be able to be much expressive in that, then I think you will be having even a higher chance for that. But that would be just an advantage if you have a project. Yes, why? Because whenever you are in an interview, then you would be asked about that. Even the interviewer would be very eager to know what exactly have you been working on and how you have solved that problem, what you have taken in the project, and so on. So he would be also interested in that.
Right. So yeah, Anna, since you mentioned about DSA,
Yeah.
right? So I came to your room many times when we were in the institute. So you worked yourself, like you toned yourself by doing competitive coding and all, as far as I've observed. So what do you think? DSA versus competitive coding, who's the winner? Like, which one is more important for placement?
Okay, see that depends. That depends. Like which role are you applying for, or which company you are looking for? Why? Because there are few companies which exactly mostly looks for the competitive coding. That what is the skills that you have. Entirely working in DSC with DSC or competitive coding, that just improves your analytical skills. That how you are tackling a particular problem. That how you are approaching a problem,
Hmm.
and that depends on like if you are working for some other companies where that is looking for different tools to be having a hands on different tools, then that doesn't I don't say that that doesn't need, but even there you need a basic knowledge of DSA and this all, but that requires different tools. Like as I have mentioned in machine learning, there are different tools that you have to learn on and even different skills. Like there
Right.
are neural networks and if coming into the tools and libraries, there are different libraries, NumPy, Pandas, and this all. You have to learn on that. And coming to even cloud also, you will be having Docker and Kubernetes. You should have a strong grip on them all. So
Right.
that depends. If you are looking for the companies which are taking for mostly software engineers and in the perspective of coding, then I think you have to heavily concentrate on competitive coding. Why? Because that improves your way how you are approaching a solution. So that creates if you will be given a particular situation to solve exactly where that is the case in most of the interviews, then
Hmm.
suddenly the solution might not stuck to your mind or the way that might not stuck to your mind. So doing this regularly, that will be you will be in a sense that you are tuning yourself for that. So that would be easy and you would take to solve that particular problem or anything in a fraction of seconds or minutes. So that varies.
Okay. So DSA versus coding, depending on the company for which you are applying, the winner will be decided.
Yeah.
Right. That was very great. So the next question, a small question on internships again. So we all have a thought of getting more salary, like a company which gives us a good amount of salary. So is there any chance of package increment for PPO based on performance during internship?
Yeah, yeah, as I have mentioned earlier, PPOs are two types. One, they are giving you into full time and taking training for that entire internship tenure, or they are giving you an opportunity for the internship, and you would be tested in those entire tenure of the internship, and you would be observed and then converted. So
Right.
if we go to the first case where the first you have been given a full time, then the package would be fixed in that case, and you would be
Okay.
trained on the all the tools and technologies that the company is specifically using.
Hmm.
And coming to the second case, where that depends, the placement depends exactly on the situation or the things that you have been working in the entire internship tenure and your performance. So there it might get varied, but most of the cases the package would be fixed in the starting stage itself, and in few cases that might be increased based on his performance during the acceptance of the offer. That might be increased, but to be specific, yeah, performance in the internship that really matters a lot.
Right. Okay. So now I'm going to ask one of my favorite questions, Anna. This is the thing that I learned after coming to the training and placement cell, that the first round in any interview would be in any placement drive would be aptitude, and then
Yeah.
we would go for the technical round. Then we would go for the GD or any presentation which will be there to test your communication skills, and then would be the HR round. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So what are the rounds in placement with highest and least selection weightages?
So you want to say that what? So these are, if we say about 4 rounds or 5 rounds, then what is the weightage for that? Okay.
Yeah.
So to be specific, in that all the rounds are important. Okay, why? Because if that
Definitely.
isn't eliminating, every round is important. But
Definitely.
mostly, if you go to the last round, like till the HR, then there is a high chance of selection. So I keep HR as a least, but that is also important. Why? Because most of the students even get rejected in that, where you would be testing on your communication skills, which is one of the crucial thing in the companies to be
True.
taken. So first, generally, yeah, to first round, since you said that aptitude round, and that might even that depends on the companies. Why? Because some of the companies even they doesn't even take with the aptitude, and they directly move on to the resume or CV shortlisting, and then moving to directly interviews once they
Hmm.
shortlist from the resumes, and if they like whatever the profiles they like, and if that matches to the role. And in that cases, so we have either CV shortlisting or aptitude. So these both are most important. Like in aptitude, they would be checking up how analytical skills you have and how you will be solving the things and how fast you are. Why? Because
Hmm.
even everyone can solve a particular problem, but the
Right.
time that a person takes, that is most important for the company. So there they check in the aptitude, and that they check how fast you are at the analytical, so like reasoning, verbal, and so on. How fast you are and how good you are at that. So that is the most important one should have, and a few of them even they will be conducting like directly technical aptitude, like they were coming to the CSE point of view. They would be concentrating on the most important subjects like computer networks and operating systems and DBMS, which and data structures and algorithms obviously. So
Right.
these four would be the crucial heart of the computer science, where every student sees that if they want to have a job in this particular CSE field, they should be having a grip on this all. At least the basics also should be they should be strong at.
Right.
And that would be there in the first rounds, like a technical aptitude or a normal aptitude, that is mathematical one related to. And they were most they would be shortlisting once if like if they would be applying 100%, 100 members of the students are applying, 100 students are applying to that particular thing. At least mostly 60 to 60% would be getting at least selected. Why? Because that depends even on the company's criteria. But generally the companies for 60% to 65 in that range. And if they are looking for high quality students, then that bar might even be increased. That depends. And even few of the companies, even to take part in that, the first and priority thing would be CGPA. That
Definitely.
most of them they will
Definitely.
think that no, I would be when I'll come to the fourth year director, I'll be sitting through all the other companies and I would be getting placed and in this much package and result. But that is not really the case. Why? Because the students should be having a decent CGPA, like 60% a minimum they have to maintain.
Right.
And if that is why, because that by that only they would be initially allowing the students to take part in their assessment, exactly online assessment or
Hmm.
any of the assessments. So that is most even important thing that the student have to concentrate. And if you have more than that, that is it would be an advantage obviously, but not sure
Yeah.
that if more you'll be having. And then moving on to the next rounds, once the student gets qualified in the first round, and then they would be moving on to the technical round, where the student would be really interviewed on what are the skills exactly he has and whether he would be really fit to the role that they are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, the interviews, they would be mostly looking from you that how strong you are at your computer skills. As mentioned, that operating systems, computer network, DBMS, and data set.
Right.
Whatever interview I have faced, mostly they have asked this for sure and questions related to that. And if any other extra you would be having, then that would be really good advantage. Like any of the other skills, whether it's related to the security or cyber security or even networking or related to machine learning or cloud, that would be or web design, that would be an advantage to that. So
Mm-hmm.
that depends on in the technical interview. And in the technical interview, even there would be different things. Like it would be a simple technical interview and the technical questions and related on your project, and those all questions will be asked and whatever things are in resume. And it could be even a one-to-one coding round. Like the interview would be there and he would be sharing a whiteboard and where he would be you would be asking the question and you have to write the logic for that.
Mm-hmm.
Even that would be one-on-one coding round. So even that could happen. That would be really interesting. And how the student really approaches to a particular problem, that would be tested in that.
Mm-hmm.
And once that generally the company follows either one or two technical rounds and face-to-face round, and then they would be moving on to either HR round or group discussions. Also, few of the companies take if the company even wants the person to have a good communication skills and those all, they even go to the GD
Mm-hmm.
and then moving on to the final HR round or the round with the CEO. So that is generally a pipeline that the company follows. So mostly I say that first initial rounds are really crucial, but even that doesn't mean that last rounds are not that crucial. Even they are. Why? Because few of the students, they are very good at their technical skills and but they are not that expressive in the interviews. Although they have put all the things in their resume, all the projects, whatever they have done, but they are not that expressive. The
Right.
interviewer doesn't know that how many projects have you done and what. Why? Because you are just being on the first attempt. You are being with the interviewer. So that is the first view between you and him.
Mm-hmm.
So in that first unit, you have to express whatever things you have done in a better way, and whatever the projects you have on those. So that creates a good impression on you that how expressive you are and how things you are able to tackle in this one. So that even matters.
Right. So according to whatever you said right now, Anna, I got to understand one thing, that if a person is really technically sound, like he's
Yeah,
very good at technicals, his technical skills are really good, but he won't be able to, express his technical skills, or perform his technical skills unless and until he clears the apti round. So
yeah,
this is very important, that every round should be taken seriously, right, Anna?
yeah. Till you get to the last point of the headset, everything would be really why because you would be very eagerly waiting that who would I be getting selected to the next round and what might happen in the next round. And they would be
Right.
really very eager with. So that happens. That they have to carry forward till the end of the entire drive. Once they hear the selection list, then that would be cool.
Right. So this answered another question that we planned today, Anna, that how to deal with continuous rejections and identify the root cause of rejection. So you just solved both the questions all at once.
Okay, yeah, I want to even add a few points to that
Yes.
question. Uh, if you are getting once you generally in third year ending, I think in the last semester, like in the sixth semester, most of
Mm-hmm.
the company visits for the pre-placement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during the starting of the fourth year person, the companies would be coming for the placements according to the academic calendar of the particular
Right.
college. So in that situation, if a student, even though he's a technically sound, he might not get not even specifically for the person who are technically sound, but even for the other students also, they
Mm-hmm.
might not get selected in for certain companies. So it doesn't mean that they doesn't know anything or their colleagues or their friends are getting placed and he's not getting. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
students they get depressed. Oh, I'm not getting selected even though I have done these many internships, these many projects. So there
Yes.
might be the case
Happens.
that the way which you are approaching, like how you are going to express in the particular company, that depends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that you might change and how you have from each and every rejection in that, right? You have to observe that what mistakes have you been done. If you are unable to approach the mistakes, you can reach out to your dear ones or your most close mentors or faculties that they would be pointing out exactly what might be gone went wrong, so that could help you in order to improve for further drive. But if you just be saying, oh my God, I didn't get selected in this drive, so I'm unfit for this company. If you think that I got rejected in Google, so I will not be eligible for any other company in that way, that would be a wrong perception to be gone with, I think. So they have to look out what exactly went wrong, or it might be even the case the company is looking for certain skills, but you are
Hmm.
expertise in some other skills. So
Hmm.
then even that matters.
Yeah.
So the company, even though you will be interviewed till the last round, you might get rejected in the final round saying that this skills doesn't match to them. Okay, then don't be depressed. Just move on and prepare for the companies that according to your skill set, and then present that in a good way, such that the interviewer get even a good impression on you in a first attempt itself.
Right. Yeah, this is actually a problem with many people that they easily lose their confidence once they face a rejection. So yeah,
Yeah.
this would be a very important message for everybody who thinks in such a way. Yeah. So the next question, Anna, you are a placement coordinator at the Training and Placement Cell, and you also lead the DevCan's coding club of an NIT Sikkim. So this question is based on that. What is the role of extracurriculars or positions of responsibility in placement?
Okay. See, obviously, all the extra things that you do, that would be like an add-on to your skills. Okay.
Hmm.
Like that all does help. Basically, I have joined when being in a training and placement, so you will be learning many of the managing things, how to manage things in life. So, which is
Right.
one of the crucial thing. Once you get placed and working with certain companies, so then there won't be only the things where you would be entire day you would be sitting for working with the company or coding that. So there are
Mhm.
other things also you would be managing. Okay, so that managing skills or how to do that you would be learning from all the extracurricular activities that are in the clubs you would be getting in on. So like I have been involved in training and placement that helped me to manage many of the things even in my company. So in that way that obviously helps whatever extracurricular activities that you would be like, although that is if that is like TNP or if that is any of the coding club or any other things like creativity club, even that be like an add-on to your particular skill sets.
Right. Okay. So the next question, Anna. So since this pandemic has hit us hard, everything has gone online. Everything has gone online.
Yeah.
So would you like to comment anything on campus versus off campus in terms of process of placement or difficulty or any other things?
Okay. I do say that competing in an on-campus side would be a little bit easier than compared to an off-campus. Why? Because
On
if
campus.
it is, yeah, on-campus would be a little bit easier. Why? Because if you are in on-campus, then you will be competing with the students in your campus itself, right?
Uh
So
huh.
if there are a pool of 100 students in your campus who are applying for that particular role, then you would be one of them who would be competing with them. Whether if that is an off-campus type, there will be a lakhs of people who would be applying for that particular role, right? And you have
Right.
to be competing with them all that to be a best fit for that role. So if you have a particular you are excellent and in that skills, and then it would be really easy for you. But if you are a medium, and then in that case, that even you might get selected in that because the way which you are portraying your skills that even matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So on campus, if you are in campus, then the training and placement cell also would be guiding you that how things to be worked with and how what to be learned even those are. That might be helpful. And if that is a regular recruiter, then that would be really a cool thing for you to crack that. If you prepare accordingly from the earlier previous years suggestions and those are how did it went for your seniors and those are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That even really help even us in our current drives. And coming to the virtual, I think, yeah, now everything on campus, if it is, everything had been virtual, whether it is on campus or everything. So everything is now on to Google Meets and Zooms and this all.
Yeah.
So the way which you have now, there few of the students they might be very shy while speaking on face to face if it is
Right.
on the if it isn't virtual.
Hmm.
Now that it is a cool chance even for them to talk virtually and to be interacting with them in a cool manner. So that would be helpful for them also.
Yeah. So in terms of difficulty and freeness, while conducting a placement drive or while participating in a placement drive, you suggest that on campus would be more easier.
Yeah,
Okay.
where you would
By
be having
saying
all your
this,
even that would be.
Yeah.
I mean to say, if you are in the campus and the company is coming to the campus, then that would be somewhat advantageous for you. Why? Because it is coming to recruit some pool of students, talented pool of students, and that would be a little bit easier.
Yeah. Now, since you have mentioned this point, Anna, I'm starting to miss our college a bit more.
Yeah, really.
That's really a worst feeling. So, not to talk about it. So, the next question would be, Anna, for you. How important is customizing a resume as per the job description of a company?
Yeah, as I said that that is really one of the crucial thing. Why? Because even I have faced that in few of the companies where my skill set was basically in terms of machine learning. Although I had worked on many of the things, like I had worked in the fields of cloud computing and machine learning and also algorithms also and the other stuff. But I had more interested in machine learning at that point of time during my second and third year. And my CV was, if you could see, entire my CV would be full of all the projects that related to that.
Mhm,
And when we got few of the PPO companies, they are looking for different stuff. Although I know I have a hands-on other concepts like computer networking, cybersecurity, and these all,
mhm.
but the company is looking for those, but that aren't mentioned in my CV, in my projects, and this all. So that had really, I thought that if I would have even added whatever projects I have done in different skills, like if you know different skills, then do add those all skills. Why? Because if you are particularly looking, that one company is particularly looking for that skill, and if you mention some other things which that company doesn't need, then why would they be interested in you?
Yeah.
So resume would be like a first impression that a team, whatever recruiting team would be having. Why? Because you would be sharing your resume along with your all the data that you have from the training and placement. So that would be really first he sees your resume and the skill sets that you have. So
Mhm.
even if you apply for the offline, I mean online also, for all the other companies, right? There, there really that would be a different thing where directly the bot would be filtering your all resumes. Like they would be checking what are the skill sets you have, and they would be checking if these are matching with this. Then yes, they would. Why? Because lots of people would be applying for that particular role in all the online sites like LinkedIn or this all other job application sites.
Right.
So once that is there, every HR won't be going on looking on those 1 lakh CVs, and they would be there. Why? Because they spend a fraction of seconds or two in order to see your CV, even though if it is selected. So in that case, I think the skill set that matches to the company is very much important, and it is very crucial. And the thing also which is important is that some people would be seeing that I have even observed few of the people that if this company is asking for certain skill set, even though if they don't know that skill, they would be going on putting that, adding that into the CV that I have did these and this those all. So yeah, HRs are really very good at that, how they're gonna filter their students, okay, whatever they write. So they are really expertise in that. So don't even think that if you add all this stuff and just go on saying that I know these all stuff in the interview, immediately they'll kick off you from there. So they will say that what you have mentioned, because they will be just ask, they won't even ask high typical questions. They'll be asking just basic questions related to that, just to check that whether how genuine you are with your CV and whatever things you have been worked on. That's what they would be even going on with the projects you have worked on, and how have you tackled the problems in your project and those all, and what are the skill sets you have used and this all. So I think resume is one of the really crucial part in one's job application. That is very much important, and that should be matching with the skill sets.
So, with this, we can know that we have to be very choosy while applying for a job, and
Yeah.
we have to put only genuine information in our resume.
Yeah, generally, till I think my seniors even had guided me that in the second year, and my faculty also that to make it just max to max one-page resume. Okay,
Mhm.
even if you go into corporate life, they does maintain even one page. If they are very much experienced, then it might be increased. But I think BTech level, you might maintain only one page of CV, which and you can include all the other things where that portrays you that this. If we see that yeah, I'm Anirudh, then what all skills this person have, and what all skills I mean what are the projects he had been worked on, what is academic career, and this all. So if he sees at one go, then he could be having a rough idea on you that what you are, then he can
Right.
imagine in that way. So don't make the series like 10 pages or 3 pages, 4 pages. Why? Because HR doesn't even have time to look on those all. So make it an catchy one and the attractive one with using, and make all the skill sets which you have and included in that, and the project and this all.
Right.
Why?
Right.
Because few of them they would be going on including that I'm from this place, this all stuff. My father name is this, my mother name is this. That works in the initial stage, like in the first year and those all. But when you are in the second, third year and fourth year, especially for placements and the PPOs, then you have to cut it down and include more technical skills. You have to grow in that way. In first year,
Right.
you might not know that many skills, so including those all by data will be working. But moving on, you have to make your one has if you are preparing especially for technical jobs, then you have to include the skill set related to that and make a CV related to in that way. So that would work.
So a single page CV, which should be very clear,
Short and sweet.
short and sweet. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next question for you, Anna. Uh, in an interview, if I'm not wrong, as far as I have knowledge in this thing, in an interview, an HR would have several opportunities. Like the student will give the HR several opportunities where the HR could catch one point and the student will be logged over there. Like he will be blocked and he will not be able to answer. If we take them as pitfalls, then what are some common pitfalls for interviews?
Okay, so I have mentioned like in my earlier point, if you mention some of the skills which you don't know, then that would be the first case.
Definitely.
Okay, where the
Yeah.
HR will catch. And he would be going on asking if you are not able to answer some basic questions related to that particular thing, then he would be going on asking that, then he will catch that and it will be going on, and your entire session would be on that for sure. And but generally speaking, HR doesn't want you to always reject. He also, a few of the people, even they would be nervous in the interview, so they would be even motivating the students in order to tell, and they would be really very interacting with the students in order to bring out what exactly he knows. So
Mhm.
they go in that way. So once if HR knows that you are not knowing anything, then they would be really going on asking all the questions. And especially to talk with if you are involved, if you are mentioning the project which you haven't done, that even that would be the case where HR will really think that yeah, he hasn't done anything on this, and go on asking something related to that, and you would be like it is like a self trap. So you are
Yeah.
making a trap with yourself, and by mentioning all the skills that you don't know and the project that you haven't worked on. So that would be the case, and there might be the case, although you know the solution, but you're not able to convey that, and because of being nervous. Then in that situation, just I think you could calm down and take a deep breath, and you can go on with that, what you want to say, and that HR will even agree for that. And few of the things are that even in especially in one-to-one coding round, like whiteboard coding round, in that
Mhm.
if where the question HR would be presenting his, I mean HR would be sharing his screen and the whiteboard, and in that you would be given a question to be solved on and the logic to be said in that.
Mhm.
In if there you don't know what the HR says and you are not able to understand, if you don't have a strong grip on I mean DSA or a coding background, then that there itself he would be stopping you. So that could be there. These are the generally the people. I think they would be thinking that if I include more in the resume and result, then I would have a higher chance. And even people might be even a misconception that if I would be having a higher CGPA and without working on any of the projects or without having any other skill, then you will be directly getting selected. That would not be the case. Even if you are a high CGPA, then you have to even have a good skill set. What companies are looking for. That would be dependent.
Right. So there are pretty much pitfalls over there.
Yeah. I no, actually that we are ourselves itself creating those all stuff. So HR doesn't create anything. So we are giving a chance to the HR that mentioning these all skills, and why? Because they don't even get they why? Because since it would be a first interaction with you and the HR, so he would be just
Mhm.
going on interacting. Whatever you say, he would it would be like if the students even even the student generally falls in this way that one thing while explaining something you will be using some typical terms which you
Right.
think that yeah that would be interesting and it would be catchy, but the thing is that if you use those terms that would be really creating a way to the HR to ask more things on that. So keep it simple when you're explaining something, and then that would be easy really even for you. If you have a strong grip on that, then that would be okay. But if you don't know those terms, and then if you are using that while explaining something, then I think in that case, then HR will catch you at that point, and he will be going on digging questions. And so you will be going on saying, so HR will be digging on questions from years of itself. So whatever you say, will be going on asking from that. So that is also one of the loopholes. So, and in that point of time, they will think that they would be really getting nervous. Arey, what the thing is going on? Whatever I'm saying, he's going on looping back into that and asking some other stuff.
Right.
That would be there.
So whatever the answer we give, that should also be to the point,
Yeah,
and we have
yeah.
to be sure about it. Right. So yes, Anna, the next question would be about our institute, NIT Sikkim. So could you share some information about the placement statistics and average package of CSE department in the recent years?
Yeah, not especially statistics, we could say, yeah, but we could say this time really the placements for CSE had been tremendous, and almost I think my friends and batchmates and almost all have been placed and with a decent package. So and even they had been in a big companies also. So the most to be specific, the most successful thing for us is that getting involved in coding and getting involved in more projects, and that had lead to the success in especially for CSC people and the projects and all the internships. So that had really paid us. All the work that we have did in our second year and third year as a volunteers and the internships which we got that had paid us in our fourth year in the terms of the placement. That had really a good fruitful session for us.
That's really great. That would really be a very good advice to all the upcoming batches also. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next question, and probably this is the last question, Anna. What and how should be our start during our initial stages that would be helpful for a good placement at the end? Like everybody who's planning for a placement in the future, he would be wondering where should I start or how should I start? Like, so where what should be a start at the initial stage?
Okay. So especially for computer science graduates, so for them, I think each year they would be introduced to different level or different things on the subject. Okay.
Right.
So like in first year they would be having common things like C programming and this all, which they should have a grip. I think that is most important one. And then after in the second year they would be introduced to different core language, core things like data structures and computer networks and this all stuff, which are really hardcore subjects of the CSE. They have to really concentrate on those subjects. Although if they think that they are going to a particular specific way other than these all like software engineering jobs, then that is up to them. Like if they are going to machine learning or if they are going to web designers or stack developers or cloud, then that would be different. But at least if they are having looking a job in a particular computer science domain and as a graduate, then they have to have till third year. I think they have to have what are the core subjects we have. They should have a grip on that. Why? Because if once they have a grip on that, then that would be really easy for them to tackle any of the interview. I guess really that had helped me, to tackle almost all the interviews that I have attended. Apart even from the projects and this all, that had helped me a lot. Why? Because at that point of them, then you would be having once you have a grip on them, then during the point of interview, then you no need to go through all the websites or all the YouTube videos and this all in
Right.
order to revise those. I mean, in order to go through all the concepts. So once if you have a grip on that, I think a basic grip also, not in depth also. If you have a basic grip on that also, then that would be helpful just to revise the concepts again before the interview. Why? Because you won't have a lot of time for before
Right.
the interview and this all for preparing for a particular placement, right?
Hmm.
And till I suggest for the students is that first year they could enjoy. Obviously, why? Because they would be coming to any of the NITs or any of the other colleges and they would be enjoying. And starting in the second year and third year where the exact journey begins. In the second year where you will be learning different skills in the computer science, and then you will be starting it like I have done in my second year and itself. I mean in the winter, I guess, yeah, in the winter or summer itself, I have started my internship where with the summer research fellowship. So till by the end of second year, if you have a decent knowledge on those stuff, then you would be getting a cool internship then itself. And after that, in third year, where you would be mostly involved and you would be looking for internships for sure. Second year internships that are not that mandatory, but third year you should be doing at least one that would be helpful for you. Why? Because
Mhm.
to at least speak up in the interview, that would be helpful for you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sir, I have done these internships and I have applied these skills and this all. So that would be helpful for you. And so these both years you could apply for the internship. And then coming to the third year, ending in the last semester, I mean sixth semester, then the actual journey starts where for the pre-placement drives, where the companies would be coming in order to recruit them for an internship for 6 months or whatever the tenure they offer.
Hmm.
And then you should, for that companies, mostly they would be concentrating on coding skills and then followed by interviews or else in an aptitude. And then the exact journey for the placement, if you are not interested in PPOs and this all, then exact journey begins in fourth year. So before that, if you are working, I mean, if you are preparing for these all internships and this all, I think half of the placement preparation is done in that way. Why? Because if you are preparing for the any of the internships or PPOs, this all, you get tuned for this all the subjects and the things which you have, which that are needed in the placement. So that would be so till third year. I think if you are in this whole process, almost 60 to 70% work is done for the placement. So just it would be like at the last moment you have to just revise those all things and tune up your CVs and this all and get tuned with the skills and that what the company exactly is looking for, and just yeah start practicing the aptitude and this all also. Overall, that would be a part of your third year as a different parts of the training and placement. So that would be a part. And coming to the fourth year, yeah, that would be said from the day zero, the company starts, especially the advantage in NITSL, from the day zero till the last day of the college of the fourth year, you would be getting the company. So that would be
Hmm.
really helpful for us to get, if even though we are not getting selected in one, we would be looking out for the other. So that would be, entire this fourth year would be like how you are getting tuned yourself, even though handling the rejections and the success case, how you are getting tuned. And do not stop at one point of time. Like if you got selected into a company which you think even you are most eligible for other companies, then push yourself to forward and try for that. Why? Because trying doesn't even hurt you anything. So you can try for all the things. So in that way, starting from the second year to third year, the internships, and then for the placement. So this should be the way. I think I have followed the same. So that might be different for the other person, but I have followed the same way.
Right. So would you like to advise anything based on CGPA? Like how to maintain and what to maintain a minimum CGPA if a
Yeah,
person
as
is from a
mentioned.
CSE
Yeah,
branch?
yeah, if a person is from a CSE branch, I think most of the, to my knowledge, 80 to 90% of companies they does look for 60% minimum cutoff. Okay, there would be hardly few companies which is looking for more than 60. Like few of the companies, to name, few of the companies they will be looking for 80%, 85 also.
Oh
That
my
would be
God.
the exceptional cases. Okay, but mostly they would be looking in range of 60 to 75 in between. So if you are more than 7 CGP or 70%, then that for almost you'd be sitting eligible in almost 90% of companies, the mostly. If you, even if you have 60%, but few of the companies they switch between 60 to 65 also. Then that would be really hurting case if the student who have 64.8 or
Oh
64.4,
my.
that would be really hurting for them.
Yeah.
So that depends. So CGPA really matters. That doesn't. Why? Because that is the initial way where you would be going for the entire placement, right? So if you
Hmm.
doesn't have even CGPA, that would be just a case where you'd be getting rejected even for the entire other process. That is really important. But not only concentrating, you have to even concentrate on the CGPA and parallelly internships and all the other skills. If not on internship, then all the other skill sets on the project. And if you are in the research domain, then that would be a different case.
Yeah. All right.
And
Then
yeah.
yeah. Anything, Anna?
Yeah, just thing is maintain your CV properly and have a good skill set. That's it. Even if you involve anything in your CV, whatever you include in your CV, have a good grip on that daily. That is much important really. Because if you keep your CV truthful and express that, sir, in the interviewer, I mean during the interview time, yes, sir, I had only worked on these things. But if you are confident on the things what you have worked, really that impresses the HR. That is very much important. One have to be remembering during the placement session and all.
So well. So yeah, this brings us to the end of today's session, Anna. Thank you very much for your valuable suggestions over all the questions that I answered, that I asked. I'm sorry. So, you've always been the same, Anna. You've always been as inspiring as you were at the beginning. So I wish you very good luck for your career and all the life ahead. And I hope this session of ours today, I hope this would be very helpful to all the people who are going to avail placements from not only our institute, not only any NIT or IIT, but any institute overall India. Right. Thank you very much for today's session,
Yeah, yeah. Even get prepared for your upcoming placement sessions
Anna.
also. Yeah, all the best for you in that.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Bye. Yeah.
అన్న హెయిర్ బాగానే కనబడుతుంది అన్నది.
అరే ఎంత ఉందరా నీకు బస్ దానికి ఓ ఇట్టి తిట్టిందంటావు పైకి.
నీకంటే మంచి మంచి హెయిర్ ఉందన్న. మంచి అసలు స్టైల్ కూడా అసలు లేదు మీకు.